So here we are. It's now me just setting up the Broodminder devices that you've seen that I've put in on the hives and in under the hives and syncing them up. So what I'm using, rather than buying a SubHub, which you can do, or a hub, which is either Wi-Fi or cellular options with solar panels to sort of power them if you're in an out apiary. What I've got, because I'm here in the home, in my home apiary, right in the garden, I'm close enough to use the home Wi-Fi. So what I'm using to save a few quid, but I've got something there, is that I've got old iPhones that I've had from previously. So I'm using one of them there. What I've done is set up the app. What I've done, and I'll show you separately, if I were to do here, if I click on the devices, and then you'll see all of the devices. And what I've done, you can see there one double, that's the ones where the bees are in at the moment, and two double is the empty one where I've put the other devices in, which actually don't have any linkage. You can see them all syncing up, finding it, and at 52, the one at the bottom, CB, that is the one which will tell me the sort of temperature in the actual apiary that I hung up on the fence trellis. So that will sync up as well just now. But what you can tell there, you can see that where the bees are, currently the relative humidity is 72 degrees, 72 percentage humidity, relative humidity, whereas where there is no bees, that's currently 76. And that is because there's an inverse relationship between temperature and humidity. So where the bees are, it's at 1 degree centigrade, about 2 degrees Fahrenheit difference. So 18.8 degrees is centigrade in the colony at the moment where the bees are. In Fahrenheit terms, that is going to be sort of around 66, 67 degrees. But then there's a couple of degrees more in Fahrenheit for where there's no bees, or less where there's no bees. But because the temperature is lower, the humidity, even if there is the same amount of moisture, the relative humidity would be higher where there's no bees because the temperature is lower. We can also see that because I've got two scales, well, not surprising, the side where the bees are is 85 kilos. So if we're doing that by 2.2, that's about 180 pounds of weight on one side, and you can see decidedly less, only 34 kilos. So again, 2.2, you're looking about 80 kilos, also 80 pounds on the side where there are no bees. So at least the philosophy that wherever the weight is, it will lean towards that way, but because it is one single hive, there will be a bit of sharing of weight across the two scales because they're not separate hives. So what I want to just tell here is at the moment, also what's quite interesting is the scales, which I hadn't appreciated. All the scales also have temperature sensors in them. So even where you can see that we've got the weight, you can see outside currently it's actually warmer than it is actually in the hive, and that's because the insulation effect of the actual woods, and insulation obviously works both ways, keeps heat in and out. So, but we'll just keep going. Anyway, I've done this now, but what I've done, because I've got this device, and because I've paid for the premium service, if I click on the settings, what I've instigated is this and ticked that is a hub mode. Now the hub mode will actually sort of allow it to every 10 seconds, as you can see there, also every 10 minutes, it will monitor for 10 seconds for the signals from each of those devices. Once it picks up those signals, gets all the measurements, it will send it up through the Wi-Fi into the cloud to my Broodminder account. Okay, so there you are. I just thought that you'd be interested in actually seeing that, but back to the devices. Now all I've done is put it into a little plastic container, which I'm going to just close up like that. So it's and that will be enough in here because I'm actually in my greenhouse, hence why you can see all these pots and things around. So I'm just going to leave it in here, leave it like that, and that's more than enough to sort of keep them sort of connected. I don't have to worry about power supply because I've got power in here, and that's it. I just leave it, and I will show you a bit more on the online version how you can actually monitor this, and how the Melisfa website is also going to allow you to sort of monitor all of this. Now I'm going to wait a little while so that we can get some data that feeds through rather than just looking at blank data. Thank you.